Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Tiff with Voices for Independence Fitness and Activities. I am here to close out our Monday with another recipe for you. So, hey, before I start, don't forget to work on your daily wellness challenge. Today was to either share a book, article, or podcast that you really like or that you are interested in listening to or reading that has to do with health wellness. And like Brian mentioned in his live earlier today, wellness doesn't always have to do with your diet and putting food into your body. It also has to do with your overall wellness. Social, emotional, physical are all parts of wellness. So books are great. They're great. It's great to keep learning and educating ourselves, especially if it's something that really interests us. So I posted a book I am currently reading. I also got another book I just ordered in the mail today. It's Sanjay Gupta's Keep Sharp. It is about to build a better brain at any age because I'm a hypochondriac and I feel I forget stuff a lot. So on here it says, whether you're concerned about memory loss or simply want to boost your mental acuity. So I felt I needed to read this book. I just hope I remember to pick it up and read. So that is the goal for today, guys. Your challenge is to at least find one that you feel you'll read or listen to in the future. Again, it can be a podcast, an article, or a book. Something you've already listened to or read, or something that you plan to, and share it with the group. So I gave you 2 ideas. I know other people have posted what they're reading as well. But I'm going to share a healthy recipe with you. I am going to share almond crusted chicken with you. This is a great recipe. It is a low carb and gluten free if you're looking for those. Otherwise, I really like it because it has an alternate crust on it. I try not to eat a lot of breads. And again, it's not that I'm trying to do low carb. I just like healthy carbs. And for me, I feel breads and breadcrumbs, things like that, have too many sugars in them that I'd rather consume in other foods such as my fruits. So I am doing this for myself for those reasons. But again, if you have somebody who has a gluten intolerance, this would be a great recipe for you as well. Plus a little extra punch of protein with those almonds that we're going to be using to go along with the chicken. So what you're going to need for this recipe is 1 cup of raw almonds, which I have here. Mine are raw, so that means they're unsalted, unroasted. If you want to use, I'm just double checking what they recommend here. They just say almonds. So if you want to use salted almonds, if that's what you have, or roasted and salted, that's fine. Just make sure you don't use any salt as one of your seasonings. We don't want to over salt our food. You'll also need a couple seasonings. One I just mentioned, some salt. I have some Himalayan pink sea salt. Then you're going to need some garlic. It also calls for oregano and thyme. I'm going to just use Italian seasoning. I don't have those individual spices and herbs at my house right now. So I'm going to use the Italian seasoning, which has them both in it, and then some paprika. You'll also need 1 egg and your food processor because we need to chop up those almonds. You'll also need 2 to 4 chicken breasts depending on the size. I chose 2. I have my free range chicken here, antibiotic free. Again, I choose to invest in my food for my wellness, so I'm not investing in my illness care. So I have my 2 chicken breasts there. I feel they're a little bit on the large side, so I'm going to go with the 2. And then what we're going to do next, you'll also want a bowl so we can beat our egg. And then once we grind up our almonds and process them down into crumbs, you're going to want a shallow pan so we can spread those crumbs in the pan and then easily bread our chicken breasts. All right, so for this, we are going to add our 1 cup of almonds. Again, 3/4 cup to 1 cup, depending on how many chicken breasts you're using. So I am just going to get just about a cup of, oh my gosh, they went everywhere. Just about a cup. Let's throw a few more in there to make up for the ones that just fell on the floor. All right, so we have about a cup of almonds, and now we need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, which I'm going to add. And we're going to add all our seasonings right to the food processor. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic, pour that right in. And then we are going to add, it says a 1/2 teaspoon teaspoon of dried oregano and a half of dry thyme. I am going to add 1 whole teaspoon of the Italian seasonings, which is a combination of those and a little bit of sage. All right, looks like I just have 1 teaspoon left. That works out great. So we're just gonna sprinkle the rest in there of our Italian seasoning. And then we're gonna put the paprika in. Now the paprika, we just need a half a teaspoon of the paprika. So I'm gonna use my same measuring spoon, but not fill it up all the way, just so I don't dirty extra utensils. So the half a teaspoon of paprika. Now we're gonna save our salt. What we're gonna do is salt the chicken breast directly, and we'll do that in a moment. So next we're going to make sure all our pieces and parts to our food processor are working properly. And then we are going to pulse these until we crush them up into a fine crumb. So if loud noises bother you, please turn down your volume at this time as I'm going to start pulsing these. So this has now been pulsed into a fine crumb. Remember, you don't want to pulse it too fast. That's why the pulse is nice, because you can start and stop it easily. Because if you go too far past pulse, it starts to turn into a paste, and you're actually starting to make almond butter at that point. All right, so I'm going to take it off the machine. Let's unplug that just to be safe. Safety first. All right, and then we're going to pour our almond crumbs, our breading, into our shallow bowl. So I'm gonna do that. And then we're ready to prepare our chicken. So first, I'm gonna whisk up my 1 egg. We're gonna beat 1 egg. What we're gonna do is use this as an egg wash for our chicken. This will help the crumbs, the almond crust that were created, stick to our chicken breasts. So I'm gonna just whisk that up really fast. All right, let me set that aside. And then I am going, make sure you've washed and dried your hands. We are touching raw chicken, so poultry. So as soon as you're finished with this, make sure it's even good to have the water running now, so you're not touching the faucets and such. So what we're gonna do is gonna be a 2-step process. We're gonna take our chicken breast, we are going to put it in the egg wash, then we're gonna put it in the crumbs, and then we're gonna put it back on our tray for baking. All right, so I'm just gonna take the whole chicken breast, put it right in the egg wash, flip it once or twice to make sure it's covered, and then we're gonna pick it right up and put it into the crumbs. I'll move that aside, move this over, and we really want to press it down into those crumbs to make sure that it gets onto the chicken breast and really will stick well. So you want to press your almond crumbs right onto that chicken breast. Don't be shy, get in there, touch your food. It's important in the process. All right, so there we have our almond crusted chicken breast ready. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. So we're gonna put in the egg wash. Your hands are gonna get dirty, so just keep working at it. Just deal with it. I know if you have sensory issues, this can be a challenging process for you. So you can wear gloves, or you can find someone in your house that you wants to help you can do this process. Because sometimes when your fingers get dirty, it's not a very great feeling. All right, so I have made sure that I get all my almond crust on there that I want, press it on so it'll stay on during the baking process. Now we're gonna salt it a little bit. You can salt it beforehand as well. It's probably a better idea, but I have forgotten to do that. But again, salt's not important, especially most people would probably have salted almonds in their house. So let me rinse my hands. And then we're going to go back and salt our chicken a little bit. It'll be fine at this point because it'll still work out the same. So if you missed a step and didn't salt your chicken first, it's not a big deal. We're just gonna go back. And again, less is more. If you don't wanna salt it and you'd rather wait to let the individuals salt their own chicken at mealtime, that's an even better idea, whichever you prefer. All right, so I'm just gonna Put a little bit on top. There we go, and that's all there is to this almond crusted chicken breast. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me give you your baking instructions. This is going to go in a 375 degree oven. Don't forget to preheat. It's really important when it comes to the cooking time. And then this is going to bake for approximately 22 to 25 minutes. Now, if you have a little bit of a larger chicken breast and you did not butterfly it, double check it, because this could take up to 35 to 45 minutes at that 375. Okay, so put it in for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then check it for every 5 minutes after that till your chicken is done. Again, I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I'll be sharing it in the comments below, and stay tuned tomorrow for our next wellness challenge. Thanks, guys.